What it do though, Divine? Boom, I'm back. Check it out. What y'all roll me today? Oh, shoot. Let that on too long. Yeah, so I'm skipping over here and I'm going to show you why I say I'm a pretty good driver. Like, I'm a great driver. I'm an expert at this stuff when it comes to this stuff, man. Speeding a little bit, so I don't want to get a ticket, but I want to at least get away from that guy right there I just passed. That guy, he was jamming on his brakes when I was behind him, when I was coming over to get on this, it's not an interstate, it's like a route, state road, state route, state route, however you want to say it. You get what I'm saying? Because if you know, you know. I'm on 57 right now, that means I'm doing 57 miles an hour. So when I'm like, I'm on 57, that means I'm doing 57 miles an hour and the speed limit 55 through here. UPS cut it back for that guy. That guy, he didn't know how to merge. I would have ran up right beside him. I wouldn't let him in. Now that's what people do. It's like this guy right here coming up on the right. He don't know how to merge. Like when you merge onto the road or the interstate, and you come on the home ground, that's what, when you get on, like when traffic is moving this way, and it's flowing this way, you're coming on the exit to get on here, it's called the home ground. And then when you're getting off the exit, it's the off. In trucking, we use these type of terminologies in trucking. I have to pay attention to my to the road, like to my signs, because I'm not using GPS right now. It's on, but I'm not going to go the route it wants me to go. The way it wants me to go is going to take me to toll road, so I'm going to save my boss a little bit of money and not go that way. So I'm going to go around the toll. That's what makes me a great driver, because I don't like to work for somebody and then if I'm driving for you and I don't pay attention to, you spending money on tolls and I don't take the ways away from around the tolls, I don't know how to drive that way as a truck driver, it's going to cost the company money. So I need the company to continue to make money so that way I have job security, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go around the toll. So I got to pay attention to the road, street signs or the road signs, because I'm going to take the route around the toll. And my GPS, it wants me to go to, boom, thanks for the light. It wants me to go to the toll road. And everybody knows when you turn on the GPS, it's always, if you're close to a toll road, it's always going to give you directions to make you take the toll so the toll can make money. And I think they give GPS companies money for doing that. I don't know if it's the state, because in other countries actually own part of our toll roads, and people don't even know that. And I don't know how America does that, and then they say let's make America great again, but then you take an investment from other countries into the infrastructure here, and this is the infrastructure here. It's our roadways, our railroad, now highways and interstates, you know what I mean? So they set it up like that. That's why you'll wonder why my GPS wants me to go that way. It wants you to go on the toll road every time. And I have a truck GPS on, it's on my phone. and it's still making me go the toll road. So they do that too. And I don't buy truck GPS. Some people go out and spend like $600, $700-800 on a truck GPS. And when you get in New York City, it won't work. I don't care. Like some may work for some people, but if you're going into Queens and Bronx, like you're going to the Bronx Market, Hunts Point, they call it, or Staten Island, and you're coming out of, let's say, Florida, you're coming up north on 95, and you're going into Brooklyn. If you don't know how to take 278 and, like, you know what I mean, how to go into there, and once you, I mean, it'll take you there, but once you get into the city, it's going to get turned around. The GPS is going to get lost all the time.
Take the path exit.
So that's why I want to get off up here. So I'm going to have to get over here. I'm going to jump this exit. That's what I call it. Jump this exit. That means jumping the traffic. And I'm going to jump this exit and get over. I'm going to muscle my way over right here. I'm going to let this car right here merge. That's why I say I'm a great driver, because I can do this. I mean, it's legal. I have to. Because I have to, you know what I mean, make my way. So in trucking, what we call it is claiming your space. So I'm going to take this 309 instead of going up to 476. And it was like a bridge, 1311. So that's the most important thing about driving. You always got to read. If you read, that's
drive northwest on Pennsylvania 309 south. In a half mile, take the exit toward Tillman Street West.
Have good habits in driving. You know what I mean? Like, they say cargo may shift because it's in this curve at 30 miles an hour. And it's pretty steep in here. The curve is. So yeah, I don't want to go to 476. Yeah, that bridge right there is 1311. If you 14 feet, like hauling cars, some car haulers, and sometimes if they hauling trucks, they're 14 feet. And if you're not reading that, and you would have did what I just did and went under that bridge, boom, you would have hit the top of the, you would have hit the bottom of the bridge. You would have tore the tops off a couple of trucks. You know what I mean? Then you would get the ticket and everything. And then that's on your license. You can't go nowhere else to work because nobody's not going to hire you because you just had an accident in a truck. So the insurance company not going to approve you to
take
drive
the exit toward Tillman Street West.
So my GPS is going to keep speaking, but I'm not following it. Like I read the signs 45 through here. So I can come through here about 48. You know what I mean? Miles.
Drive south on Pennsylvania 309 south for 1.5 miles.
I mean, well, 276. Take 276 back over to it'll run with 476 right where it wants me to go, and then it'll pop me back out on 95 right by Philly, and then I go 95 over here to 322 on over to where I need to go. And that's the thing about trucking. You will want to get you an atlas, like a road atlas, which is a map. And you want to take that and use that and study that if you don't know the lanes, and it can help you. You know what I mean? So once you start learning the lanes, what we call it, like the interstates, then you can kind of do like what I do. I don't drive for big companies. I drive for a small company. The guy I work with, he has like 8 trucks, and I'm staying on 309. He has like 8 trucks, and I like to work for him because I pay my own taxes. So you know what I mean? I just set up my corporation, and now I'm moving into.
In a half mile, take exit 54 onto US 222 toward Hamilton Boulevard.
But like, I think it's gonna work out here now because I'm back. But anyway, I set up, I'll sign up with a payroll service, and then I pay myself, and then I use my business, set me up a business account, and use everything through my business. Like if I want to buy a new car. Like if I'm paying rent over here, I live in Florida, so I'm going to set my business up there, and then I'm from Florida, so my business is going to be in Florida, but I live in
a quarter mile, turn left onto US 222.
So, I don't want to
drive southeast on Interstate 78 East, Pennsylvania 309 South. In 1 mile, take exit 55.
You got to excuse my GPS, it's going to keep talking, and I'm not following it, but it's kind of going on track the way I want to go. It's catching up now. But yeah, so I do it that way. So I like 1099. I don't like to do W-2s. You know what I mean? It won't work for me because I make too much money. You know, truck driver now, 17 years experience. You know what I mean? I know the game. So I would want to set up
In a half mile, take exit 55 onto Pennsylvania 29 toward Cedar Crest Boulevard.
Because if you make $1,500 and you pay yourself $500 out of that, you're only going to pay taxes on the $500, not the whole $1,500. And then your check going to be like $1,000, $1,100. If you know what I mean, I'm single, I'm by myself. They're going to take out a lot of taxes. So why would I want to set up a corporation? And then I just
take exit 55.
Money is an asset. So then what I do is I need a car. You know what
in a quarter mile, turn left onto South Cedar Crest Boulevard. Drive east on Interstate 78 East, Pennsylvania 309 South for 1.5 miles. Drive east on Interstate 78 East, Pennsylvania 309 South for 1.5 miles.
So really, you want to turn flip it into assets as much as possible when you start to make money. So that's why with me setting up a corporation, you want to set up in a way like I'm making money here. So if I make $100K a year over here, so I want to buy a truck. So now once I buy a truck, now I got a truck payment, I put this much down, and I use everything, do it like that, and I just keep building. You know what I mean? So you turn 100,000 into $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You have that mindset. So that's why it's good to have a corporation when you want to grow. When people speaking about creating generational wealth, it's a good thing. But you know what I mean? You got to be around the right people. Like, let's say for me, for instance, I don't want to say it like I'm bragging, like I know everything, because I don't. You know what I mean? But I'm very knowledgeable, and I have a lot of wisdom when it comes to logistics. So, you know, people
in a half mile,
to you
take exit 57 toward Lehigh Street.
Use this logistics business as a business to create generational wealth, because you can say it and speak it and do your affirmation, what people be saying, and manifestations and all that stuff, but still, you're still gonna have to do the work. You know what I mean? So I got into logistics like over 20 years ago. It's been like 25 years. I was a mover. You know what I mean?
Take exit 57.
I worked with my uncle.
In a quarter mile, so turn left onto Lehigh Street.
I just copied and pasted what
Drive
they
east
did.
on Interstate 78 East, Pennsylvania 309 South for 3 miles.
And they've been doing that like over 20 years, 30 years. They've been moving with like United Van Lines, Atlas Van Lines, like big companies, big moving companies. And that's all they want to do, you know, so it ain't stuck like that. They don't know about the logistics, and then they don't have to do all the hard work. They could have made more money by putting on more trucks. And they brothers, so they could have worked together. Now they got a nephew in it. We all three can work together and build it, but they don't see it that way. You know what I mean? But they want to have all this other fancy stuff and everything, and they don't have a retirement plan. So creating generational wealth, you have to, you know what I mean, do the work. You just can't just think it's going to fall in your lap. You know what I mean? I hear people, that's a thing now. You know what I mean? People speaking about generational wealth. But trucking, is just trucking alone by itself is a $4 trillion a year business. Every year it's gonna make $4 trillion instead of going up. So I mean, like why we can't get in right there is with like me and my uncles working together, and we can build a company, a $20 million company out of like that. You know what I mean? So now when you move into commodities, buying and selling, that's another like $8 trillion, or probably more than that. I don't know what the numbers is on it, but it's more than trucking. Just trucking period is a $4 trillion a year business. You know what I mean? It brings in $4 trillion in revenue annually. You know what I mean? And and you have to see it to do it. So like a lot of us can do this. Yes, you know what I mean? Here in America, we from America. You want to make America great again. You just talking. You know what I'm saying? Then they want you to go out there and vote for somebody saying that, just projecting onto you. Oh, let's make America great again. No, we're gonna make the world great again. So we just have to do the work. People, we have to start being a lot more vulnerable with each other. You know what I mean? Be open. Regardless if you think somebody's gonna mess you over, like you only do that 1,000 times. Because when you go
in 1 mile,
job, they do
take
that
exit 60.
Oh, shit. Middle lane. I didn't see which way the road went. So yeah, talk about, like in this space, a lot of things.
In a half mile, take exit 60 onto Pennsylvania 309 south toward Quakertown.
But I share it with people. I don't gatekeep nothing. You know what I mean? Because it's God. You know what I mean? And God, He really moving in all our life. When He say He already did it, He has. But you have to, you know what I mean, be open to be able to receive. And that's the problem with human beings. We don't like to stay open.
Take exit 60.
Help or love, mainly love anybody, because it comes with
continue for 8 miles.
If somebody share love with you, like if I'm a guy, I want to get married. A lot of people, like from my community, I'm what they call a Black American. I don't like to say African American because I'm from America. So they like to say we can do everything 50-50. You know what I mean? So in order to have this love, you got to look at it like you got to do everything 50-50. Nah, I know I'm a guy. I know my wife got to have kids, and we got to make this baby. She got to take care of me, her, and all this stuff, and have the baby, raise the baby, and all that. Why I need her to go out and try to bring 50-50 to the table? Nah, I need to go out and do something where I can make lucrative money to take care of my family. You know what I mean? Alone by myself. So I got, you know what I mean? That's why, you know what I mean? We're looking at it the wrong way. And it's blatant, like it's true. Like I don't like to be around people to say, oh, it's 50-50 in a relationship. Oh yeah, you haven't been catching the shift. You still asleep. You need to wake up. We shifted out of that inner standing, outer standing, overstanding. We out of that phase, man. God here. You know what I'm saying? It's with God to know. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta let it flow. And we know we men. Like I don't expect a woman to come out here and it might be that, you know, that little thing they go through every month, and it might be that time, and she got to come out here and work hard, and then she got to make 2 or 3 stops, and that's going to get in her way. It's going to be uncomfortable for her at times, and it's going to be hard. It's pretty stressful driving a truck. It's not easy, you know what I mean, make it out to be, but we make it look easy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that do all the talking try to act like they talking and they doing this and doing that in trucking. They really not. Them dudes be pulled over sleep by now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this stuff can go a lot of different ways, but my point is just, like, us men, guys, we got to step up, bro. We got to step up, man. You know what I mean? And be open with each other. And y'all know who I'm talking to, you know what I'm saying, when I'm speaking this stuff, man. We got to work together a lot more. You can't look at it like somebody gonna get over on you. Nah. If they do, then you leave it in God's hands, just pivot and go another way, alchemize the energy and just say, oh, he think you got over there, ain't gonna worry about it. I'm gonna move this way. And then when you like ask the universe, you know what I mean, talk to God, yeah, they're gonna put it back in your life, but you have to do so much inner work to get this far. As far as I've come, I came a long way. I'll be 50 years old next month, but I had to wait on this stuff. In the last, like, 5 years, I've been going through my awakening, my journey. You know what I mean? It's been different, you know what I mean, than what we've been taught. And then, you know, so when I speak to people, it's a different type of conversation, because they only want to talk about what somebody else doing. When I say, hey man, we can start a lumber service. Yeah, my boy was doing that. They was doing that, and they started to give me a story about somebody else. We need to stop that, fellas. Come on, bro. Really? I say, man, we can start one. I ain't talking about what somebody else woulda, coulda, shoulda was doing. Man, nah. Let's get out here and do the work, man. You know what I mean? And like, and God works with me, and I share that with people. And it might not be the way what people expect it. Like, that's how he come. In a way that you least expect. You know what I mean? It's majestic. You know what I mean? He popped up on me, but I worked for it, man. Like everything. Like, you know what I mean? Even just to be back in the truck here. So, and I leave myself open to be vulnerable. And it's just like, it makes me stronger. When somebody think they can just do me wrong and mess me over, I already have a plan A to Z, you know, out to away from around them. And then if I get in a situation I can't move, I know I said it's God. He want to see something. That's why I'm going through this. And I just keep, you know what I mean? know, set my intentions, and I just keep being good-hearted, no matter what. I'm not gonna be like them, oh man, they got over on me, so I'm gonna get over on them. I'm gonna try to get them back. I don't do that. I leave that for the crabs. I let the crabs in the bucket. Stay and keep that. You can have, that's petty to me. That's what peasants do. You know what I'm saying? So I just stay on my big dog thing, and I just keep, you know what I'm saying, having faith. You know what I'm saying? As long as I keep my attention there and I keep the faith, like it'll figure out its way out. It might take 5, 10 years, but hell, I waited on it. That's why he say be still. You got people still sometimes 5, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like when they talk about, tell you these stories. God say be still, he gonna do it. Nah, he wants you to do it because you having a human experience. So when you're doing it, you know what I'm saying? You can turn around and look back and see God and say, oh, I appreciate it. You show him so much more love back that way, and you can feel and know God is real. You know what I'm saying? After all the stuff you've been through, you're not doing it for the people. That's why they say live in the world, not of the world. You know what I'm saying? People preach all this stuff, but they don't live that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I come on here and I share that through spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I move. And I just come out and I show people how I do it. You know what I mean? And that's why with me being vulnerable, I have that to work with. And it worked out to be divine support. You know what I mean? And it's like, then I got called up and I'm like, okay. And I'm not gonna go back and try to convince myself and make myself think I done saw something wrong or I gotta unsee it and unhear it now. Nah, man, it's been like the divine came in with nothing but straight love.